that puts you at a ceiling that you can only make that's $600 a day. There's no way you can make more with that project. Good morning, everybody.
Welcome to another vlog.
And we are off on another day of work.
Yep, heading to the office, aka Stardust Coffee Shop. We actually have some client meetings today. So, and these meetings have to do with long-term contracts and everything like that. So it's not just a meeting about like some dev issue we're working on or some task or something. It's kind of a bigger meeting, so.
Negotiating the future with this particular client. On the topic of pay negotiation, since that's what Josh will be doing this morning, Mr. Negotiator, we will talk to you guys about negotiating pay, tactics that we've used for, when we're working for companies, how to get a raise, and also when you are working with different clients and doing contract work. Outside because it was freezing inside, which makes no sense because it's really not that warm here in Florida. And yesterday, I'm sorry, we did not have a vlog come out. We were at Josh's wedding, or Josh's sister's wedding. So, yeah. But when it comes to negotiating pay, especially if you are an employee, sorry, it's kind of loud out here. One of the things that I learned right away was do it by email. The reason why is because if you are new to negotiating pay, you can kind of save face, because a lot of times in a negotiation it's going to be this back and forth, or that's what expected. And if somebody's like, no, I'm not going to pay you that much, and this is your first time negotiating, and you're like, okay, no, maybe I'm not worth that much, you're going to second guess all the stuff that you had talked yourself up to getting into that situation. So make sure you know your worth before you go in and negotiate that pay. Actually have business objectives on how you benefit the company that you're at, like how you make them money, how you interact with others, like how you're an amazing team member. They are a business, they're running a company, and you are part of that. Alright, so back to asking for a raise or negotiating pay, whether it's a contract or your actual salary.
You're gonna give me this raise. I deserve this raise. Yes! 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 Ah!
The one thing that you want to remember is it's a collaboration. So you want to state key things that benefit the company and that are skills that you have. Because it's a cohesive relationship, it's not you versus them, it's what do you do for the company, and then how can they compensate you for doing that particular skill or skill set. The other big thing that just drives me crazy in general is when you say you're sorry.
Andy, sorry.
That is definitely something you do not want to do when you are negotiating pay. When you are going into a room or sending an email that is specifically talking about salary negotiations or contract salary negotiations, you don't want to say that you're sorry, because what you're doing is you're showing that you're not really there to negotiate for a higher pay. You want to stand your ground, you want to be firm, you want to be respectful, but you want to talk with confidence about what it is that brings you to the table and why you deserve that raise.
Why are you gonna give me this raise? Why? Because I'm awesome! I am awesome!
This is another big one. Do not bring in personal circumstances to your salary negotiation. This may sound like a logical way to get a raise, but it isn't. Your personal finances have no way at all in affecting how much you make for a company. Your company does not care what your personal financial obligations are. What they care about is your skill set and how you are a key contributing factor for that business to make money. So don't go in with a sob story saying you have X amount of loan payments to pay every month or blah, 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 because it's not going to help your case. You want to go in there, like I said earlier, with key business objectives on how you actually affect that business and what skills you are actually bringing to the table. All right, we are moving upstairs. We actually have a bit of a mess to clean up in our office. Yep, quite the mess, you guys.
What is this? A bicycle.
Anybody want to go shred the gnar, man? It was all back here.
You left? You're on.
And it's clean. It's that time again, you guys. Afternoon coffee. And yes, my hair, as the day progresses, just ends up or on my head, just somewhere out of my eyes, because it just, I don't know, it drives me crazy. You guys can see all these goodies. I am going to juice tonight and actually make a bunch of juice for the week. I've been really struggling with acid reflux. I don't know if any of you guys have dealt with it or if you know of anything that helps. So I'm actually just going to do a cleanse for a few days with veggies because veggies are supposed to be good.
Why are you eating stem first?
This is a new food for me. How else should I eat it?
For it. That's what I was doing research on. But yeah, let me know if you or you know of somebody that deals with it and what has helped, because it's been going on since like last September, October. So a long time. Just got back from our run and now I'm gonna make juice. One of the best parts about living in Florida is all the oranges. You guys, these are actual oranges picked off of Josh's mom's tree. So we have the oranges, and these are limes. These are actual limes from trees. Like, look how big that is. Homegrown, you guys. It's amazing. And for the juice, I'm going to do cucumbers, carrots, spinach, celery, and then, of course, some oranges. Here are my juices. I have cucumber, celery, orange. And then I have just greens. This is spinach, cucumber, celery, and that's it. And then carrot, cucumber, and celery, and lemon. And then this is greens again, but this has lemon in it. And these will be my dinners and lunches for the next couple days. Alright, so now we are going to jump into negotiating actual contracts. And some of this can apply to salary negotiations, but this is primarily if you are freelancing and you are working with different clients. The first thing you want to do is know your MAR, which is your minimum acceptable rate. You're going to need to take into account your household cost, so what it takes for you to live, whatever type of lifestyle you're living. You also need to take into your business expenses. Then you take those numbers and you add them up, and then you're going to divide them by the hours that you work, and then you are going to add the tax, because you are always going to be taxed on your money, especially when you're freelancing. I like to just do a straight 30%, even though that may not always be the case. It's better to plan for more than not have enough at the end of the year. A quick example of that is, let's say your expenses are $50,000 and your business expenses are then $10,000. So that gives you a chunk of $60,000. Then you are going to be working for this company, let's say 8 hours a day for 3 months, which is approximately $720. So you're going to take that $60,000, divide it by that $720. You will get $83.33. Then you're going to want to add your tax to that. Whatever number you get, that would be your minimal rate. That number, however, does not have to represent the actual rate that you give a client, because other things are to take into consideration, like depending on what exactly you're freelancing for, and that number will change based on the longevity of that contract. Another thing to think about when you're freelancing is, are you going to be hourly or per project? So there's really two ways to think about this, whether you're going to be hourly or per project based payments. This is how I think about it. If you are just starting off, it is probably going to take you more time to figure out how to do stuff, especially if you've never done it before. Unfortunately, your client isn't paying you to learn on how to figure this out, so you do need to take that into consideration when you are billing and when you are giving them your rate, because it is going to take you more time upfront, especially when you are new to freelancing and you may have never hosted a website, or you don't know how to set up their email with their hosting, you don't know how to FTP up to their server, or you're setting up the servers. Like, there's all these things that go into freelancing that you may not know unless you've already done it. Let's say you are a senior level developer, designer, marketer, and you have been doing freelance for a really long time, and it takes you half the time to do something. It takes you 20 minutes to write a blog post, or it takes you an hour to get a website up and running when it could take somebody a day or 8 hours. You want to make sure that you are then being compensated per project. The reason why that's important is you aren't going to hit that ceiling. So let's say you're like, oh, I charge $100 an hour and I'm going to work 6 hours a week. Yeah, 6 hours a day. That puts you at a ceiling that you can only make that's $600 a day. There's no way you can make more with that project. So if you do it on a per project basis and you get it done a lot faster, that frees up your other time to be making more money. And lastly, this goes for both salary negotiation and contract negotiations. This is something I do all the time, and anytime somebody asks me about it, this is what I always tell them. Start high. I like to go 10% higher than what I'm actually wanting or actually think I should make. The reason why is that gives you that wiggle room so you can actually negotiate with. I've done that in salary negotiations, like one-on-one with my boss, and I ended up leaving making almost $4,000 more than I originally went in there wanting to make. So always start high, leave some wiggle room, and make sure you clearly define what it is that you do for the company, the business, your skill sets that you're bringing to the table.
Alright, you guys, so that is our video on negotiating salaries and contracts.
Very important skill.
I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give us a thumbs up and share this with your friends, and please subscribe to our channel. Bye guys, see you tomorrow.